You with us, we'll be glad to serve you a plate of butter beans and maybe some cornbread, maybe a little cherry pie on the side. It would tickle to death to have you. I'm Wild Bob. I got Jerry Kidd on my left here and Ronnie Sharp on my right, and we have our advisor sitting over here in the corner that's going to straighten us out anytime we're going straight. So we want to welcome you here to the Wild Bob and Ronnie show here this Saturday, last Saturday in February. And so when we see you again, it'll be Tuesday night, which will be the last night in February, I believe. Is that right?
When what happens?
What?
When what?
I said that'll be the last night in February.
What will?
Tuesday.
I don't know. It's not this week.
Huh?
It's the
Well,
22nd.
Next week, today is what?
It's 22nd.
Okay, I'm talking about, well, it's today's 22nd.
It was this morning.
Okay, I'm talking about next week, okay? Okay, there you go. Yeah,
That's right.
we will have one more Saturday in February.
Well, I don't know when it's gonna get here, 'cause it ends on the 28th.
Yeah.
This is not leap year.
But it ends on the 28th.
It does this year.
If y'all wanna call in
Saturdays on.
Referee.
If anybody wants to call in and settle this dispute over days and nights,
Oh, that's right.
562-3557 or 566-1450.
Right.
so give us a call. Bob will answer any question you've got about any issue.
But don't ask him about what day of the week it
Well,
is.
it may not be accurate, but I will give you an answer.
I will say this, I couldn't remember when we come on. Bob remembered that. He didn't remember what day it was.
Well, I want you to know I'm feeling pretty good today. I did 10 yards on the treadmill this morning, did 10
10
more,
what?
10 yards.
Okay.
And then I did 10 yards on the bicycle.
Right,
Had to lose at least half ounce.
right. That'll do it.
Cooked me up a big breakfast of ham and eggs.
You
cooked
treated
them
yourself to
eggs.
some ice cream when you got in, didn't you?
I cooked them eggs in hog grease. Then I made some butter out of pig's milk. And good Lord says to share your bounty.
Nothing like kosher breakfast.
So-
I guess you had a bagel with that, didn't you?
So I called up all my Muslim friends and invited them over for ham and eggs,
Right,
and hog
okay.
milk
Good,
breakfast, you know.
good. And
So-
sauteed with a little pig's blood.
Yeah.
That'll do it
I
every
ain't
time.
into you fellas.
You heard about me raising a bunch of hogs off of nothing but bagels, didn't you?
No, I never heard that one,
I
Bob.
did. I got used bread and I fed the bagels to my hogs. I had the only kosher pigs in the state.
There you go.
They wore little yarmulkes.
Yeah, they wore them little black hats and I
Nothing
did.
right on the
raised
back
them
of
all
their
right.
head. Them come right on the back of their head.
I always wondered why they always shaved a hole in their head and then wore a cap over it.
Right.
No, that's blame monks used to do that.
Is that it?
They didn't wear a cap.
The Franciscan monk.
Yeah. Them old Francisco monks.
Yeah. Well, what's been going on here in the county? You know, we got the county election gonna come up here in like about 9 months.
Well, I found a thing on the internet that said that Beretta gun factory is moving from Maryland because they've passed so many laws they can't make guns there anymore. They're moving to Gallatin, Tennessee.
Yeah, I know that.
Then I saw on the internet where Remington is moving from New York, you know, the People's Republic of New York, down to Alabama. So I wrote an email to Ken Yeager and Dennis Powers and William Beard about, you know, why have we not taken steps to try to get one of these companies to move to Campbell County? Well, I got it. You know, William Beard, him and Dennis Powers, they get real defensive if you say anything about their performance.
No.
And William sent an email back. He said, well, you know, I did give him a call and I sent him an email. Well, I responded to that and said, William, if you knew they were moving to Alabama, why weren't you sitting there on their doorstep? Why weren't you in their boardrooms making presentations with charts and videos about how great Campbell County is? You can't just send a man an email or try to give him a phone call, a big corporation like Remington, and get them to come here. You gotta go and do a sales job. But he sent him an email, and he made a phone call,
Wow.
Do we
Wow.
have some sort of a representative, we pay some sort of a recruiter?
we got all kinds of people down there.
I mean, have
Sitting
we got somebody
around,
specific?
we got all, yes, we do.
Why don't we send him up to?
We got a recruiter.
New York?
Send the incubators up there?
We could
We
send
got
an
the incubator group, we got all kinds of stuff. They don't do nothing. The incubator group is down here trying to start a farmer's market in downtown La Follette.
Yeah,
You know, people, if there's a market for that sort of thing, people do it on their own. They don't need government to tell them how to do it.
Well, you know, there was a little old farmer's market right up here beside J.R. Kitt's new tire place,
Yeah,
and it's out. It
Yeah.
would say
well, they had a
out.
big, Happy Pappy group built that big building down there at Carroll back about 1975. And, of course, that went belly up right soon, and now they've got that, mine safety thing down there, I think. We paid for that building for a farmer's market.
yeah.
With some
We got
sort of
all kinds,
government
yeah.
grant,
And people who
which is
have,
always free.
people have produce to sell, just pull off on the side of the road somewhere and sell their wires off the back of their trucks.
Sure they do that.
Adrian Beard used to do that all the time.
Well, you know, there's really not that many, people that produce, truck crops around here. Not that many.
Not anymore,
Not
no.
that many farmers in Campbell County or even the surrounding areas. And, I believe that, you know, they couldn't even make it opening up a building for flea marketing, much less farmer's market.
A little background music there,
Yeah,
folks.
that is, that must be Tinker Bell going through.
Somebody's theme song came on.
So, and I agree with you 100%. I was in sales, national sales for a number of years.
It could have been a
And when
funeral.
you want a big
Been a lot
account,
worse.
you lay your plans, you get your connections, you go in and you make a presentation and answer any questions that come up. And what you do, you make sure those people absolutely understand everything about your county, whether they do or not.
That's right. You know, one of the things that really concerns me about our politicians is how narrow-minded and short-sighted they tend to be. They don't see the trends of society, the direction things are going. They don't know how to operate within the direction things are going in society. So they don't know how to plan anything. It's like, for instance, right now, there's a group out there, a new movement called the Article 5 group, or Article 5 Convention. Now, Dennis Pyers, our state rep, has got involved in this, and he's trying to get a bill through Nashville down there that would balance the budget. And if we can get 37 states to pass this balanced budget amendment, it becomes a part of the Constitution.
That's true.
Now, but all it is a balanced budget amendment standing alone. Can you imagine what would happen if that's all you pass, is that the government has to balance, the federal government has to balance its budget? Can you imagine the repercussions?
No, it is
Oh,
raise
that-
taxes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They would have to almost have to double federal tax income to balance that budget. Because you know they're not gonna cut spending, they never have, never will.
No, I agree with
Can you imagine what doubling our taxes would be? That'd be almost like a 67% tax increase in the city of La Follette.
That's
How
what
they
we're
doing
at.
money wise now? How they doing? They got any excess funds?
I've heard they're short of money and they might need another tax raise.
I'd like to know. I'd really like to know. They managed to squander a lot of money.
Well, they spent $550,000 on a piece of tar paper and some tar on a flat roof down there, to stop one little leak in the,
Well, they got a
City
new
administrator's
got a
office.
new library though.
well, yeah, they spent a bunch of money on the library. It's got a multi-million-dollar kitchen in it.
Yeah, that's what every library should have.
We're gonna have a fundraiser for them. Try to buy them an exhaust fan for the bathroom, they $14 down at Lowe's, so we're gonna have, it'll take us a month to raise that much money.
You know they got a sign down there that says urination only, don't you?
I tell you what worries me,
I mean, that's pretty bad when you can't even use the bathroom in your own public library.
I'll tell you what worries me, the same people that oversaw that, make sure everything was up to code, come out and inspect our properties too.
Oh, that's worrisome.
It is, ain't it? It's hard to believe that they don't interpret code hardly the way the buck wrote it, ain't it?
Last electrical inspector I seen would get down with a flashlight and look in the outlets.
Yeah.
And I asked him, I said, what comes out of there, AC or DC? He looked at me real funny and he said, you trying to get smart with me? I said, no, I don't want to plug my DC appliances in an AC outlet and burn them up. And I don't want to plug my AC appliances in a DC outlet and burn them where they don't work.
What'd he say?
He just real curious. He didn't know.
He didn't know what it
He
was?
didn't know what AC DC was. I was being smart with him, you know, which I guess
Where
I
was
was.
this at?
That was over in Scott County.
Somebody needs to educate him a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good, we need to know the AC or DC, what.
Have you ever seen one get down and look in an outlet with a flashlight?
I don't know
What
you
can you
What's he
say?
looking
I
for?
know, you can't
What
see
can
that.
you say?
There might be a little AC in there or something, you know? It's-
Been looking for mouse droppings.
That's the only thing you can see is whether or not the, ground terminal is blocked off or something, you know. Be the only thing I know you might find that would be,
Well, why would you do that?
I don't know why anybody would do it.
Dirt daubers, maybe.
A lot of times.
He was an inspector, he don't need a reason.
They might,
Oh, yeah.
you know, a lot of times they might have broke the ground connection off in
You
there.
can't tell that with the cover on the thing.
From what,
You can't tell that with the cover on it.
well, you know, it's got
You can tell if
it's
it's
got
broke.
3 holes, it's
Yeah.
got two and a negative.
Yeah.
You can look in that negative hole and see if there's anything in it. I don't know why you would, cause there's not anything in it. Because if it is-
Anybody got a
Well,
flashlight?
how would it get in
Has
there?
anybody got a flashlight? We're gonna let Bob check these
How
outlets.
we get in there, very simple, a lot of people, they can work those, ground, things on the plug almost off, and they might have one that's partially on there, and it could break off.
Yeah, that happens every day. It sure burn a house down
You
there.
can sure tell with a
You
flashlight.
asked me how it could
I
happen.
know, it ain't.
I didn't tell you it would happen, I told you how it could happen, and I don't think it ever will, you know, or ever has, that I know
Let
of.
me ask you one more question. Do you think that would be a very effective, inspection technique?
I don't believe so.
I don't
I
either.
don't either.
Looking for money in the city
I
treasurer.
mean, yeah, when you made it tore down because there was a broken, ground connection in the plug.
And you know, they make a little tester, a little thing, you just go around and plug in the thing, see if you've got any reverse polarity or anything.
Yeah.
He probably needed just to take
Yeah,
that connection
but
back.
a flashlight is much cheaper.
No, I doubt it. Batteries don't last as long either. Them are kind of, Glenn Beck sells them to shoot to the moon, they're kind of expensive.
Right, yeah. Why do we get these messages up there on the moon?
I don't know, we ain't had a lot of activity around here from,
Right,
interstellar visitors
Right.
lately.
well, let me ask you something, so I can smile on the camera, where are we being photographed from for the internet?
Is there?
From the
Yeah.
Little red
unit
light there.
itself, okay, in other words, when I look in the mirror, I'm not only getting to see myself, but somebody else is getting to see me.
Yeah, you're scaring kids all over the world.
Right, okay. You know, talked a little bit a while ago about William Baird and how inept and unqualified these people are to hold a position that they hold. They absolutely are not qualified, or either they are do things the wrong way intentionally. And, you know, one of the things we brought up the other night was that the crime rate in La Follette is 136% higher, no decimals, 136% higher than the national average. That's pretty tough for a small southern town with basically an Anglo-Saxon population.
We have to work hard to achieve that.
Huh?
We have to work hard to achieve that.
Yeah, they had to work hard, we sure do. You know, this is coupled, not only do we have an Anglo-Saxon population, which traditionally throughout the country has a lower incarceration rate than does the African related population. But to have an Anglo-Saxon, basically white population, with a crime ratio 136 times the national average, that does not say very much.
I wonder if we've got that on our, Rick, we got that on our county website, so everybody will know we
Well, I'm
want to
sure
start
that,
business,
you
it's a
know,
good place to start.
You know, one of the things I expect to see them change the editors of the Follette Press, because those facts and figures came out in the Follette Press. And usually, they don't even report the accurate number of people that get arrested here week by week. So, for a long time there, you know somebody got arrested and charged and everything else. You look for them in the paper, look for them in the paper, look for them in the paper, and they never come out.
Bob, I've noticed that they always get your picture first.
They always get me first, you know, and, some fellas.
That's bad about having a name starts with A, ain't it?
Somebody was asking me the other day, he said, well, they had you up for failure to appear. I said, they sure did. I said, I came down to appear that morning, and about 8:30, my lawyer called me and told me I wouldn't have to appear. But he forgot to tell the court. So
Bob, another thing about this extremely high crime rate in La Follette could be attributed to a superior police force which doesn't let anybody get away with anything.
That could be it.
And you know, does this extend out into the county? You know, it may be because we got the greatest sheriff we've ever had, Campbell County, and nobody gets away with anything.
Well,
You know, in Scott County, you can go over and commit crimes all day long and never get caught.
they still
That
say,
may move.
they still say if you want to kill somebody, bring them to Campbell County. So I don't know whether that's true or not, but I will say this. A great deal of it has to do with people here who have no other way to make a living legally. I mean, even if they build a new farmer's market, it would not help enough people to cut down on the crime rate, okay? They just give them someplace else to go and steal some apples and oranges, you know, whatever they have in there. Now, I look at this in a number of ways. You know, we do have the highest percentage of police officers per population of anywhere in the United States. When you leave exit 134 down on the interstate and come to where we are now, you have to go through at least 5 levels of law enforcement. You have to wade through them. And what happens is about like when I was a young man, we used to laugh about poor people over in Russia. Everywhere they wanted to go, they had to have the proper paperwork. You know, just like it is today, you gotta have your registration certificate for your car. It don't make no difference if the tags are in your name and they say that for the type of car that you're driving, you still gotta have your registration certificate. You got to have your driver's license. You've got to have your insurance information. And on top of that, when they stop you, the first thing I ask you is where you been or where you going. You know, which is basically none of their business, you know, and I'm not anti-law enforcement, but you have to pass through 5 levels of law enforcement to get from exit 134 to where we are now. You've got, Kerrville Police, you've got Jacksboro Police, you've got Lafayette Police, you've got the Tennessee Highway Patrol, and you've got the Sheriff's Department. That's 5
Don't
levels.
leave out the FBI, they're hiding
Oh,
somewhere.
they got them around here.
BATF
Yeah,
agent running
you've
around.
also got the, TWRA that
Yeah,
they say
TWRA.
they can stop and give you a citation for a number of things. That's really 6. Probably Tennessee Bureau of Investigation's got officers up here, that's probably 7, and then the FBI makes it 8.
Let me tell you a little bit of history. Under Tsar Nicholas, 100 years ago, under Tsar Nicholas II of Russia, who was a totalitarian dictator,
Right, he was crazy.
kind of like the one we got now in Washington.
Right,
You know, Tsar Nicholas II had 1 cop for every 50,000 people.
we got
And that's
one
where,
now.
that's where they had all them Bolsheviks and stuff.
Right,
You know, here in Lafayette, we got a policeman in the city of Lafayette for about every 400 people.
yeah. And then the county got one for every 300 total.
Countywide?
Yeah.
Total, they got 1 for every 300 people?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
40,000 people?
It's probably 39,000, we've probably got 390,
We
law
don't,
enforcement officers.
for the county?
Around here, well, not.
No, I'm talking about just the county.
Countywide, plus which includes Jacksboro and all the rest of
You're
it.
talking about city law and everything.
Right, yeah.
Don't forget the constable.
And you got
Oh, yeah, you got constables. There's another layer
You
of
got
law
15,
enforcement.
15 constables.
You gotta watch out for them constables. They'll sit out there on the side of the road,
I like
stick,
them fellas.
they'll stick a hairdryer out the car window, but
Right.
it slows everybody down,
Right,
too.
yeah. So, but still, you know, I want to do an accurate count. When you figure in Jellicoe, when you figure in, the sheriff's department, you figure in Lafayette, Jacksboro, and Kerrville, you figure in TWRA, the highway patrol, but I would tell you when they stopped me down the
So
night.
we would have a law officer for about every 100 people in the county.
Maybe, maybe,
Well, how's everybody, no wonder we catch everybody.
Yeah, it ain't a sign of it, it ain't a sign of bad criminal activity, it's just excellent police.
That's right.
sure it is.
They all got a list of 100 people for them to watch.
Right, yeah, you know,
Buddy,
and it's.
I hear you're on all their
It's
lists.
always true that, if they want to get you for something, this is a land of many laws, and they can get you for something. And regardless of what it is, they can find something to get you for.
We got too many laws, too much tyranny, too much speed grabbing,
Right,
too many charges for
Right.
everything. You gotta pay for
Right.
everything, I don't care where you,
right.
you know, we're talking about government services now, you gotta pay for them services.
Well, everyone, people are not taught from kindergarten on up that everything they get has to be paid for. You know, they withheld some lunches for some kids out in California because they hadn't paid their bill at the lunchroom. And, boy, it was a terrible thing in the paper that those kids didn't get anything to eat. Well, that was their parents' responsibility.
Well, let me tell you what they're doing, let me tell you what Second Harvest is doing, and I heard this, and they've done it before, but in Knoxville, Second Harvest has got this program where the kids that get, free breakfast and free lunch and snacks, and they determine, in their opinion, you know, maybe they need a little help on the weekend, so they pack them a lunch, pack them a backpack to take home with them on the week. Now, I'm gonna tell you something, if mommy and daddy, with the resources available, can't feed that kid from what they've already got, that kid's not gonna get any more to eat, take it home on Friday, because they're not gonna fix it then either. They might pawn it for a pack of cigarettes or something, but they're not gonna, that ain't gonna do anything. I mean, I wish hungry kids all had plenty to eat, but they're not hungry because the food's not available, they're hungry because there's nobody taking responsibility for them.
Right, actually, well, I agree with that 100%. I know a family that had 4 children. I think it was 4, it may have been more. But they got right at $1,000
It's been happening,
$1,000 a month in food stamps.
Need 'em.
Now, I could feed, no telling how many I could feed, off $1,000 a month, but a bunch. Those
Have they
kids,
tried to recruit
those
you?
kids were around in the neighborhood bumming food by the time before the month was over.
Well, I don't doubt that the kids were hungry,
Did
but
the
it
Department of
wasn't.
Agriculture try to recruit you to come down and sign up for food stamps? They contacted me, wanted me to come down and sign up for food stamps.
Right, yeah. All right, let's see what we got here. What do we push?
I think you push that right there
Right,
first.
okay.
Then you push speaker.
Hey,
Push speaker.
hey, how are you? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello,
Hey, how are you?
is this my Bob?
Yeah, it is. How are you?
I'm fine, I just wondered, I know you all have already talked about the Sunday library.
A little bit.
Well, I recently visited down there and I was real glad when I had to use the restroom, I just needed to pee. And I wondered what happens when that desk person feels the call to go. Does she close the library when she has to go? I wondered about that.
Well, they don't want to overuse it.
They don't have a ventilator in the bathroom,
Right.
Bob.
Is that? Yeah, they don't have any ventilation in
They
the
don't have an
bathroom?
exhaust, they don't have an exhaust.
Is that the problem?
Hello?
Hey,
Well, see, I just had to pee, but the note on the door said urination only, and I wondered what she did when she had to go.
right.
I just wondered. Of course, it's none of my business.
Well, you know, it's not ever do as I do, but do as I say do. So, among other things.
But Bob, we all do.
Right, there you go.
That's bound to make a good impression on potential,
Right,
businesses
right, that's
investigating this area.
that's one thing they will want to do is take a visitation of people that's interested in bringing business to this county to the library. And,
They got a pretty facade on it, look just like a library.
right.
You know, there are corporations that send people into your community, undercover
Right,
to see what's going on.
If
They don't
come here-
want to get the grand tour,
right.
you know, where you only show them the good stuff. They wanna go around on their own
Yeah, they better
and,
come
check
undercover.
out stuff. And, my understanding, Remington attended our public library. They were really impressed on the outside, but when they went in and seen that sign, urination only, they had to go poop between a
Had to
couple
go
of
to
book
McDonald's,
racks.
didn't they?
They had to go in there between a couple of book racks.
Yeah, yeah. Appreciate you.
Well,
You there?
Yeah, go ahead.
whenever you guys get ready to have that fundraiser, let me know. I have some stuff I'd like to donate.
Okay.
You got a porta potty?
They've already got magazines.
We can put a porta potty right outside the door down there. Somebody ought to do that just for a joke anyway.
Well, I know between the three of you, you'll get the job done.
I know.
You think
I'm
Big-
not involved.
You think Big Al would loan us a porta potty?
I've resigned. They can set it out in the parking lot. couldn't
Yeah,
Yeah, there you
well,
go.
I put it up there by that big
they? You
monument.
know, they
You know,
park.
they got a burial monument up there, a cemetery
Yeah.
monument, that says library on it.
Yeah, they do.
Who
They-
have we had die by the name of library around
I
here?
don't know, but they park the front full, and them there people, them there poor people, them heart conditions, time they get up the steps to get in the library, and the urge hits them, they gotta go back down, it's rough.
That's all sure for them.
Yeah, right.
And they got those steps, they had it.
Yeah, you get up there, you're so out of breath, you can't leave, what you gonna do?
You can't leave and you can't poop, so I don't know what you're gonna do.
You can't find a book, cause nobody down there knows what the Dewey Decimal System is.
Well, you all saw me, and I'm sure I've got confidence in you.
Thank you.
We'll work on this
We're
problem.
working on it. Appreciate you.
Bye.
I'm sure we're in the good graces of somebody. I tell you what we have got though, we've got a little upcoming activity here we better take care of. While they still let us show up. Here we go, we'll do this and it's let's see if I can get it to work.
All right.
It ain't easy being a DJ.
Yeah, folks, we're down at VitaCare here in La Valley. It's an enterprise started by John Bond. A man's got over, I think, 40 years experience in the ambulance business. And we just felt like it was well worthy of your time,
What about
their time, and our time to let you know something about this operation that they have going here. As you well know from previous words that I've said, that I have some actual experience with VitaCare. And so if you need to know some first-hand information about it, you can call me. This is John Bond. And John, we'd like to welcome you to the 2 TV tonight. You know, we've been doing your commercials for a pretty good while, but we've never interviewed you.
That's right.
And we felt like it was just about time to let you spread some of your wisdom on these other people.
Well, we've been in business here for 75 years. I've had 40 years experience in the ambulance service. We have a Class A ambulance service with a good group of employees, 22, I believe, active employees, 22 employees that we pay for all on their own.
Well, those are not paid from taxpayer money.
No,
How much taxpayer money goes into this operation?
absolutely nothing.
Nothing. This is a self-sustaining operation.
That's correct.
Right. Well, let me ask you something. You know, we have an incubator program going here. Have you received any incubator funds?
I've not been notified that I'm due any,
Right. No, they haven't notified you that you're gonna get any.
and I don't look forward to it.
Right, okay.
We do all kinds of ambulance service. We're graded by the state as a Class A service. We can haul any kind of patients, we can go anywhere. We do a lot of non-emergency transports. We're the only service in Campbell County that has a ventilator, transport ventilator that we can move patients.
Really? Didn't mean to do that. Told you I'd
We
do
do all
it.
kinds of ambulance service. We're graded by the state as a Class A service. We can haul any kind of patients, we can go anywhere. We do a lot of non-emergency transports. We're the only service in Campbell County that has a ventilator, transport ventilator that we can move patients that are on a ventilator out of the hospital to another hospital. We appreciate the opportunity to serve each and every one of our patients. We have some people that won't call anyone but us. If they ever call us once, they'll call again. But we love each and every one of our patients, and they seem to reciprocate and love it.
Let me ask you, Bob,
Yeah,
you've had experience with VitaCare. What number do you call?
I called 562-9370. But, you know, I started to call 911 and just tell them I wanted VitaCare, which that would have worked too, you know.
562-9370.
370, that's
I thought that's what it was.
number directly into VitaCare. And I can guarantee you, you'll have tender, loving care, TLC. I think they ought to put that on their vehicles, because that's what you get with them.
Elvis had it on his Cadillac, didn't he?
Who?
No, he had to take care of business, didn't
Right,
he?
who's
TCB,
Yeah.
Elvis.
Yeah,
Well, they take care of business there too.
yeah.
What else going on? You're a kid?
I hear,
Or are you incognito today?
I hear Jacksboro Ambulance Service, you know, government owned and operated ambulance service has gone in with Jellicoe Ambulance Service, that they've united the two into one service.
They're teaming up on VitaCare, ain't they?
Teaming up,
Yeah.
but, you know, does 0 plus 0 equal anything?
Zero.
Huh?
Now,
0.
now with the new way they're teaching, it takes a while to work that out. That there That,
Common Core would have a
Yeah.
hard time with that.
Have you seen the way they do math?
Oh, Jesus.
Have you, I can't even add the way they teach you.
535 plus 235 equals 770, but not in Common Core math. 535 and 235 is 500 plus 200, that gives you 700, that's close enough.
Yeah, close enough. Especially,
You know?
especially if you're aiming for the moon, you wouldn't be but several million miles off.
Yeah, out of
Besides-
250,000, that ain't a bad mess.
Right.
You know, all the fast food services and most other businesses that serve the public have already figured out nobody needs math anymore.
Right.
All they do now is they have a cash register with pictures on it.
That's right.
You know, so all you have to do now is screen your fast food employees, make sure they're not colorblind, and they know what a picture of a hamburger looks like.
Right.
And how you want fries with that?
You want fries?
Yeah, you gotta learn that, that's customer service.
Gotta
You
push
know-
that picture, you know.
You know what they're doing now? They're working these deals out in these swank restaurants. It's gonna come top down what it is, but you go in, remember when you used to go into the drive-in, you'd push a button and order stuff? Well, now they're setting these deals up in these restaurants so that you go in and you got a computer screen and you order stuff exactly the way you want it. And the kitchen takes care of it, and they send a bus boy out with your food, and you don't have to deal with a waiter, and they don't have to deal with any wage and hour people either.
Well,
Wow.
what they will, once you
Who do
get,
you tip?
like, once you get acclimated to
You
that.
You don't have to tip
Yeah,
anymore.
once you get acclimated to that and you get your food ordered, you'll have a number like number 6, and
Yeah.
it will say number 6 is ready, and you go up and pick your own food.
And then after that, you go in and cook your own food.
Right, yeah.
You know, I'm totally against government competing with private enterprise. The Campbell County should not have an ambulance service, period.
Well, I agree with you.
You know,
I think
we
that-
have a private service in this county. Our tax dollars should not compete against private industry. I've always been against counties having their own gravel, grinding organization, their own asphalt plants, because, essentially they compete against people out here, really hard-working people trying to make a living.
Sure.
Well, that's a different situation though if you're using the product yourself. But you're not using the ambulance product, that's dispersed among, the competition should make that better. And I'm gonna tell you, just like you said, current situation, I don't know where, if you've only got one supplier of gravels and you do it yourself, then you have a natural competition. But if the county did not crush their own gravels and they only had one supplier, they'd kind of be at the mercy of the,
They were.
that's the way it was with asphalt. But anyway, I don't know nothing about building
But
roads, I
now-
do well drive on them.
But now, in order to stifle, some, conversation or opposition, the government can threaten to go in business against you. Just like, on, our, fine cement company, Dixie
Yeah,
Cement. Cliff and them boys didn't like Dixie Cement because they were against his regime.
yeah.
Okay, so they go and make a trip up to Ohio, along with, Mr. Goins and Goins Senior, and, with the purported purpose of pricing, a cement, factory to go in competition with, Dixie Concrete. On the way up there, they decided that they would poach some deers, and,
That's a different trip,
yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah.
They got caught.
Well, that was all.
They didn't have plugs
that was
for their
all
shotgun.
Well, then, by your reasoning, then, you're saying that the current city administration does not like, the, BP folks and Woodson Shell, they must, cause they've been out recruiting more filling stations, Weigels and whatnot.
Well, yeah, but they're not actually operating.
Evidently, they don't like that guys that serve breakfast down there on Tennessee Avenue either, cause they went out and fished in Bojangles.
Right, well, you know, we talked about that, and they're absolutely, they don't need to spend their money and their
Well,
time and effort recruiting additional restaurants.
Yeah, well, we recruit some jobs instead of just dividing it thinner.
Exactly, there's just so much money that's gonna be spent on food in La Polly and Campbell County. So when you bring in another restaurant, all they're doing is just dividing up what's gonna be spent anyhow,
Yep.
among more people. And,
What we need is quality. You know, we're
Well-
getting, low-end companies on the food chain instead
well,
of some.
also, we're gonna be like a lot of places here. In the summertime, you don't go barefooted where you stick a chicken bone you put.
Yeah, we need one of them our French restaurants, don't we? We've got an Italian, we've got Fazoli's.
And we got the Japanese,
Yeah.
we got the Chinese.
We got a Frisoli?
You ain't been there?
No.
It's down there where Burger King used to be,
Oh, okay.
and Burger King's over there where it is now.
Oh, okay.
It's there where you
They
turn
moved
off-
okay.
Right before you turn
I don't
off, go
need
to
a burger, I don't
Disney.
need a Burger King.
Fazoli's, I think it's good, but boy, they sure cannot make a stromboli like those people that did operate down there at Sharks Motel and had the Italian restaurant. They made one of the best strombolis I've ever eaten.
I never was in there. I have to be careful, I can't eat anything onions in it, they'll lie to you about what's in it, they don't care.
They don't care if you,
Not particularly them
they
people,
don't
just
care
in general.
if your ears turn yellow.
Yeah. Oh, well, my biggest problem with that is everybody wants to convince me that I really can't eat them, but if I eat them the way they fix
But you
them.
have to look at this from the government standpoint.
Strychnine's good if it's boiled.
Folks, folks,
They bring
if
in
you wanna call in now, the phone's been ringing off the hook.
Right.
I just say it's a really competitive, but if you wanna call in, 562-3,
3557,
3557 or
566,
1450.
1450.
Right. But when they bring in, say like, Bojangles down here, which I like Bojangles chickens, okay, I may frequent it some. But you have to look at it this way, they took a vacant field which had X number of dollars being paid on taxes. Now they've got a vacant field with a modern facility on it, paying more taxes, okay? And even if that facility does not make it and goes out of business, they still will get the same amount of tax money off that building, that they were getting while it was open. So all this, I counted the other day, I wrote
unless
down.
they give them a tax break.
Yeah, well, yeah, they could do that, but,
Build them a water tank,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lowe's got a 5-year or 10-year tax break.
yeah.
$225,000 or something like that, or 50,000, something like that.
Well, I rode down the street the other day and did a very careful count of the number of businesses. That's, has a separate entrance where there was a separate business in there at some time, and counted how many of them no longer had businesses there. And I believe it came up to 102 units from right here at First Street, all the way down to the city, end of the city down there, across from, the bank. 102 units were open. Now,
Empty,
If
empty,
you'd have
empty.
started down there at Tennessee Avenue, you'd have got another.
oh, I know, those down, you take side streets and that sort of thing.
No, I'm talking about you start at First Street, Tennessee Avenue's in the middle of town, ain't
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't go off the four off or
it?
something
You've
like
been
that.
on Central.
Huh?
First is right out here.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm trying to start at first, it just stayed straight on the 4 lane all the way down to, the bank, and there was over 100 units vacant. Now, the city, that makes a difference in the sales tax, but they're still getting the same amount of, property tax off those buildings if there's somebody in there if there's not. So they gonna make money even if they do solicit and approve businesses that aren't gonna make it, you know. So,
Well, back when they had people in the city buying scrap metal and scrap iron, they were actually bringing more money into the county than any of the retail stores.
right,
But they put people like you and the other guy out of business.
right. Yeah, they did that, but we look better, we look so much better.
I didn't say
It's
you
not-
look a lot better.
It's not how prosperous you are, how good you are for the area, it depends on what you look like.
When government gets in the business of picking business and selecting who they want to have business and who they do not want to have business, we're returning to feudalism of the Middle Ages.
Well, I
That's
got-
all that is. In this country, people are supposed to be independent, without government interference. Government should fill potholes, maintain marital and property records, and that's it.
I've got one problem, what you said.
Okay.
You said when they start. You should have said when they started.
Yes, they've been, you're correct. They have already started and been going at it too long.
Sure.
And, government is doing too much interfering out here. You know, Ronald Reagan talked about this all the way back in the early 1960s. Even back then, this was 50 years ago, he was saying, we got too much government, government is stifling enterprise and liberty, and we gotta get government off our backs. And you know, it's only gotten worse.
It has.
50 years of worse instead of, and back then, it was a problem,
Right,
and it's even worse today.
right. You know, we've mentioned this before many a time on our other shows that the largest city in the United States without city zoning, you know what that is? The
The what?
largest city in the United States that has no zoning.
No, which one was that?
Houston, Texas,
Houston has no zone.
has no zoning.
And this has come about recently.
Well, you know, zoning is a dark cloud over America at every level of
And
government,
it's a Nazi invention too.
because think about it, zoning. We said, over here in this part of our county, we're gonna build houses only. Over here in this part of our county, we're gonna build gas stations and fast food. Over in this part of the county, as far as as they can get it, we're gonna build factories, plants, and that's where you go to work. You go here to buy your groceries and your food and your gas, and you go here to go home and watch TV. Think of all the driving you have to do now.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that's bad,
and-
and the government says that's bad for the environment.
And since the prices have shot through the roof and they're artificially raised, we pay probably 10 times what we ought to be paying for gas, because of political, circumstances more than economic. We have to drive all over the place. We have to drive, look how many people from La Follette, or the La Follette area, Campbell County, have to drive to Clinton and Knoxville and Oak Ridge
You ought
to
to see
work.
them go out there in the morning, you ought to come down there about 5:30, 5:45, and watch them just one right after the other, leaving the county to work.
We got something else we gotta do for the final
Okay.
discussion here, so we see if I can get this to work.
Okay, let's do it.
Vaughn Diggle Wilson. Been here off and on for over 30 years in the same spot. Pumping propane, doing repairs on containers, heaters. I'm the only one in the county that'll do you a repair on your tanks if you need it. I sell propane gas, liquid propane, and I've got plenty of competitors, and I can easily compete with them. That's grills, backup heat, substitute heat, grills, campers, motor homes, you name it, and if it's comes in through that door, I can take care of it. I'm here Tuesday through Friday, 8 till 5, and Saturday, 8 till 12. They could call me at 562-54 Vaughn Diggle.
That was 562-5444.
That's for all your propane needs, he's got more different grades of propane than Baskin Robbins got ice cream flavor.
Yeah, they're right in the middle of the road in Sawmill Holler.
Right. Go to see
So
him.
you can get hickory flavored propane
Yeah,
now.
you sure can. Hickory flavor, mesquite flavor.
And
whatever
make
you
that,
want.
Orange
make
blossom
them
special.
grill,
You
make
get
them,
that, you
make
get that,
them grill steaks really
you
taste
can get that
better.
orange blossom
Orange
special.
blossom special.
And he can fix anything. In fact, he fixed a unit for me, guaranteed it to burn, but he refused to light it.
And the great thing about Digger is his public service.
Yep,
He has done so much out of his own pocket to see that children who were in dire straits, health-wise and financially, got free rides to Cincinnati, to the Shriner Hospital, and free rides back.
and got to see the circus too.
Right.
Yes, they really do more than
Probably
any
other-
obligation. Yeah, they're not
Any other
obligated to do anything, but they do so much
They
for
do an
them.
awful lot, they all of them do it right out of their pocket, right off the hip. It's not, they don't do it to make money, they spend their own money, helping these children. Well,
What happened to our Dixie Concrete?
Well, it ain't here no more.
That's
Oh.
going right by,
He didn't
railroad
make-
track.
He didn't make it today.
No,
I'm sorry to hear about that.
I don't know where he's at. He told, he's always, I bet you he's listening to us on the radio.
probably is.
Well, Mr. Dixie Concrete Man, get you hind end down here.
Yeah,
Right,
we need,
yeah.
we
You
need
got
some
about 9 minutes. to make
intelligence
it.
infused into
Right,
this
here he is,
discussion.
right here. Well,
Where's that?
hey,
Hello, gentlemen.
how are you?
Hey, I was planning on being there today, and I slipped out, forgot it, got cleaned up, fixed some leaks in some pipes, and didn't make it. Hey, fellas, tell you what, you all been complaining. You ain't had nothing to complain about. We keeping up this old boy down in Fountain City that got a truck that sits in front of his business. Have you heard about him?
No.
No, tell us about it.
Okay, they've been after him. Now, you fellas think it's got problems. They've been after this old boy for about, I don't know how long. And they've got a committee down there that's called Viewers Resources something other that drives around and looks at stuff. In Fountain City, they had a city ordinance down there that says that you can't have a vehicle with your logo with your name on it sit in front of your business for more than 2 hours. And they've hassled this old boy. He's got a deuce in the house, and he sells cigars. And he's even rolled up the top to where you can't read the thing or whatever. And finally, they've come around to, they've amended their ordinance now to take off the 2 hours. If you park up there in front of your business every 2 hours, you have to go move your vehicle around.
Well, now, is that Fountain City or Farragut?
Very good.
It may be Farragut,
Very
okay? I stand corrected then. But you've heard of him then, haven't you?
No, but I've heard of Farragut.
Hey, we understand your mistake. I made a mistake one time in 1956. You'll get over it.
But anyhow, see, we need to get us one of them ordinances sure in Campbell County and La Follette. And that way all these people that have got equipment that's got their name on it every 2 hours, they can go out and move it around.
Yeah,
Like if you've got a truck out here and it's got your company name on it, you can go out and move it every 2 hours. Now, this only applies if your vehicle sits to where it can be seen from a public road. Okay.
Where'd you have to get a permit to build a fence?
parked on private property also.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know where we're going to, but I'd be ashamed to be on such a committee that has to go around and such, I don't know what it is, but our country, our world's going to, wearing a handbag, and we gotta go around and see if somebody's vehicle has been moved every 2 hours or some crap like that.
You gotta realize that everything is, based on fairness nowadays.
Think of all the jobs too.
Just think how much more advantage somebody has over another one if they got their name on them.
But you gotta think about all them jobs. It takes a lot of people to count the times you move your truck every day.
Mr. Caller, I'm real disappointed you're not here. You could have got to meet our FCC monitoring agent if you'd have showed up today.
Okay, that's right, y'all supposed to have a monitor in there, yeah, aren't you?
We need one, don't we?
Yeah, you need one to whatever they do.
Well, I tell you what, we might be getting one sooner than you expect.
Well, Joe, there's several things that we've discussed. That seems to me like it's such that I read about 3 articles in the paper about this guy. And
Now, I've heard about these little conversations you have. We just, actually, the truth is, we've only got 4 minutes, so.
okay.
Yeah, you're limited to 4 minutes.
Yeah, it ain't 5 like other places.
Yeah, well,
We got a draft movement going to draft you to run for county commission, cause we wanna see their faces when you walk in down there. You know, the very man that they barred from speaking walks in and can speak all he wants.
oh Lordy. I tell you what, fellas, having 5 minutes, being given 5 minutes has a whole lot more significance to me than speaking down there in front of before those people. I've been there before, and I've been told about 5 minutes before. And it's a whole lot more significant to me than to most people when they say that. And I guess y'all may know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
We heard that rumor.
What's that now?
We heard that rumor.
Which one's that
It's
now?
about you in the 5 minutes.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your time.
Now, wait a minute, we got 2 minutes left. Anything else?
Yeah, you got anything to say? You know, they
Anything
blamed
negative?
all the laws that have been passed against liberty in this county on you.
Well, gentlemen, there's all sorts of things, and that's a terrible mistake in a public meeting where you do not have any desire whatsoever to hear what the public has to say.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, the Constitution says that Congress shall make no laws limiting speech, and that wasn't Congress. But the First Amendment, the Second Amendment says the right to bear arms will not be infringed, and you.
By anybody.
Yeah, that includes everybody, so, maybe y'all just start packing or something.
I think that's
Gentlemen, what it boils down to is I know I talk a lot of times, but I've learned far more by listening than I have talking. And these people, whenever they restrict your speech, they're the ones that's really missing out. The person is not getting to exercise their First Amendment rights, but those people are the ones who are really missing out because they're not getting to share the knowledge of the people out here that's out here where the cars and the rubber meets the road and whatever else. You know, gentlemen.
We gotta go.
Good. Well, now wait a minute.
We gotta go.
I want a 30-second description of
You
all.
better hurry, 'cause you ain't got but 10 seconds.
All government regulations on transporting, weight across state lines.
Okay.
Gotta go.
We appreciate all of you. We'll see you Tuesday night on the internet.
Yep, see you. I guess they don't know we're off.
when here.
Well, yeah, we'll just talk.
We're not off. We got 2 more
Okay,
minutes
we're
left.
off. That clock's not.
We are. Yeah, we are. All right. Thank you, Jerry.
Well, thank you for
Appreciate
inviting
you.
me. I really appreciate it.
It's been a
Pam,
pleasure.
you should have moved your chair up and spoke up. I can't
Yeah,
understand
we'll
what
put you
you're.
on here next week.
I can't read lips.
Foreigner, you.
I can't read lips.
Well, we'll tell them you're from the
When you were
FCC.
talking about businesses and government running, getting into businesses,
We would've.
all you had to do was take from that tape how many things they've tried and gone broke. The post office, the social security.
You should have slid
corporate
right up here.
stores,
You should have slid right up here.
I don't know where you found this woman,
Everything
I
that
lied.
they've tried has gone broke. Everything's in the red. So does
All
it
you
say
gotta
they're
do is
good
invite
You
businesses?
her.
heard about the chicken ranch, didn't you?
Ronnie,
Chicken ranch?
Yeah.
invite her to be on the show.
Yeah, I just did.
Good.
You know, the
There
chicken
you go.
ranch, was it the chicken ranch?
Yeah,
Chicken
Chicken
ranch.
Ranch in
Yeah.
Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the house of
And I never went,
prostitutes?
yeah, chicken ranch.
Yeah, the
I
government
never
went
to-
broke.
I never went to the Mustang.
They couldn't
ranch.
even run in our house. They went broke.
Well, the thing is, the government it doesn't have any.
They took control of it, sent some bureaucrats out there to run it,
And could
tried
they-
to keep it open.
Oh, the
Just-
place
Didn't
world
you just-
could sell whiskey and the delights of the body.
Don't you
and-
remember that fellow?
Who was it says they were in charge of the Sahara Desert 5 years there wouldn't be any sand left?
How many years did it take them to not be able to run the post office?
Hey,
We forgot to turn you off.
Hello,
Hey, buddy.
world.
Well, I still can't get him. I never can't hit the button.